And we are live. And we are live. Let's try it again. We're now
You messed.
live.
Did you mess up?
No, I didn't unmute myself for you, so you didn't hear me say it. It's alright. It's
Oh,
alright.
okay.
I had the timing. Had the timing.
Okay, that's all that matters. What's up, y'all? How you doing? We are back. Episode 72, post 71 hype. Frag Logic. I'm joined by Skyless, aka Colin. It's not Colin, aka Skyless. It's Skyless, aka
S-
Colin. Skillless.
Skyless is the leader there. Okay.
um, So yeah, today we actually don't have a whole lot to talk about. I was kind of skimming through topics I wanted to kind of touch on. Destiny is something I want to talk a little bit about because I've been watching a lot of gameplay. Listening to a lot of other people's impressions about the game, it's right around the corner, kind of, in terms of big titles that I'm interested in playing. So that's one I want to talk about a little bit. I also want to talk a little bit about Minecraft today, just based on some news I read.
Random.
And yeah, it's totally random, but I find it interesting, topic of discussion. And this idea of real betas and real alphas, which is two quotes from both Halo and Destiny guys. But the reason I want to talk about this is because Colin and I always talk about this on the show when we say, such and such beta comes out a month before you guys, and you guys know by now that's not a fucking beta. It's a demo, right? So, the Destiny alpha, calling it an alpha, is 3 months out from the game. I think they were testing it. Colin says it was internal, but I feel like there were people in the alpha shortly before it was kind of released to the public. It might have been a small test group or
Really
small
small group.
sample.
Yeah.
But it's just an interesting discussion. I'll get to that here in a second. But I'm gonna start off with weekend gaming. So I got Mario Kart. I got a Wii U. I don't know what you guys think about it, but I told you guys that Mario Kart might suck me in, and it sucked me in. Not only has it sucked me in, it sucked my family in. Last night was
Now
our
you're just
first
in a
night.
downward spiral.
We're in a downward spiral where it's like next thing you guys know, I'll be on here talking about, man, I can't wait to get fucking Pinkman and play with the new amiibos. Now here's the thing, I'm gonna
Amiibos.
fucking buy the amiibos.
I
I
don't
don't
know
even
why you don't
care.
buy the amiibos.
I'm gonna put them. They're gonna be collectors, little things on my desk. What's up, Hutchie?
Why don't you just get into
Kupo?
Skylanders?
Because I don't know who Skylanders are. Why do I even fucking care about Skylanders? I know Mario. Who the fuck is a Sky? Was it like a dinosaur? They look like Pokemon, right?
A little bit, I guess.
Okay, so why would I? Here's the thing. Why would I even go with Skylanders if I know Pokemon characters over Skylanders? And Nintendo has Pokemon. Like, I'm just gonna get Charmander, Charizard, Pikachu, Squirtle,
Squiggle.
Squirtle. I was about to say
Get out of
Jigglypuff.
here.
I was about to say Jigglypuff, and then I said Squiggle. Squirtle, Jigglypuff. I know all the Pokemon. Why would I do that?
Squiggle,
Anyway, so
squiggle
I got Squigglepuff. I got Mario Kart. I was playing that. Christy. So here's the thing. I'm gonna talk a little bit about the Wii U. So their screen that they had, the tablet is fucking big, right? And it's like it's kind of awkward to hold in your hand because they have analog sticks on it. Like, you ever see the tablets when they make like the fake controls to emulate having a real controller, like they put it on the screen. This
Yeah.
is like if
Virtual
you had
controller.
a right. It's just like a virtual controller, but now you actually have a controller on a tablet. And let me tell you guys, it's fucking not good. I'm just be blunt with you guys. I think that idea is awful, and I hope that no one tries to replicate it ever. It doesn't feel good to hold to me. I don't know how Christy feels about it, but I think it's because the thing is so long. Like, if it was like a little bit shorter, in terms of length, then I think it would feel better. But it's like your hands are spaced really far apart, so you're like reaching across to hit buttons and stuff. I don't know. It just feels kind of awkward to me. Uh, and then the thumb from the thumb from the action button, so the X, B, Y, A, I think is what they have standard, is kind of far. It's kind of spaced kind of far.
Yeah.
So those were a couple things I kind of had a problem with that. The screen on it doesn't feel super like it. I feel like it feels a little cheap, like a little bit from a touchscreen tablet standpoint. But obviously, I don't think they were kind of going for that because people are going to be hitting on it with the stylus. So I feel like it needs to feel a little bit sturdier.
Do many games even require that peripheral?
I don't.
I know it's
I don't think,
expensive as shit. It's like $100 for the controller, $80, something like that.
yeah, I don't know if games require it. Here's the thing: I was reading about Miyamoto was talking about this back in 2013. It was an article on Polygon. I read this today or yesterday, whenever it came out. But Miyamoto was talking about how they need to integrate more games that like actually have functionality or practical use for the gamepad. And so like all the games that we saw and talked about at E3 have basically practical functional use on that gamepad. Mario Kart, for example, there is a screen. My daughter was sitting on my lap while we played the first. It was me versus Christy. We didn't even play single players. Me versus Christy. I won the first one with the gamepad. She was using the Wii controller with the steering wheel and wasn't liking it. So here, and I'm going to get into that story here in a second. I'm going to try to make this quick. But anyway, my daughter is sitting here mashing on the horn because they have a horn that pops up, and then there's 3 little windows where you can switch between different actions for it to do. So like she pressed 1 and it showed up like I could watch the Wii pad, whatever you want to call it, and not even have to look at the TV, and I could have raced on that, right? So that's like the functionality of it. And then there was another functionality where she could like press the horn and see the standings for places and show the mini map. So I mean, there's some interesting functionality there. I just like I wouldn't find myself going like this. Like if you have a mini map, I'd rather have my mini map on the screen where like for example, Splatoon is supposed to have the mini map for showing your paint, what territory you control on the gamepad versus why wouldn't you not just have it on the screen? Like if I'm playing a shooter, why am I going to look down and look up? Like why would I be doing that, right? Like that's dumb.
There's a guy down in red. Oh shit, I'm dead.
Oh shit, I'm dead. There is some practical functionality, I think, with it possibly sitting on the stand they have, and then if you have your stand positioned next to your TV, maybe you can all glance at it once in your home. Yeah, you can kind of look at it like that. But there's no way in hell I would play a shooter looking down at the screen and then looking up and looking down and looking up. That's just not practical to me. So. Yeah, I think there are some more games that are going to have some practical use for that. Like I said, I think the Mario Kart one is a good example. My daughter was busy pressing on the horn while I was racing, so it was like keeping her occupied because she wanted to hold the thing. So she actually got to do something. It was just annoying on my end because all I heard was Luigi honking the entire game from start to finish was honk, 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 honk. But it was hella fun. What's up, Dirt?
See, E3 had me kind of considering getting a Wii, but I am not sold.
Here's the thing.
It's the games I saw that I was interested in, and like the platform is a huge turnoff for me entirely.
Right.
Like everything about the platform is stuff which I don't like.
Here's the thing. I would be very game specific. Like they have to do it so fucking well. But Splatoon, the brief description that they gave about how they were going to use that Wii pad just doesn't fit with that type of game. I don't think that there's a practical use for it. The Mario Kart one felt better, right? So I could play the game on there. I could also switch it. I mean, there was some functional use there. Like it felt good as like that being a horn felt like a pretty good idea. Other than that, I mean, I'm looking on the screen. Like I want the most screen real estate possible. Right. So I don't know if that's necessarily something that's going to deter me. The positive is, at the end of the day, they've already confirmed that all of the legacy controllers are going to work. So it's like I don't even have to worry about messing with it.
Yeah,
but it's
have you gotten your Pro Controller yet?
I haven't. I didn't get that yet.
I don't know how you can even play Mario Kart without it.
Yeah, Chris and I were talking about it.
Are you using the big pad or are you using the little tiny the Wii sticks?
Well, Christy was using the Wii stick. So yeah, let me get into that.
Those are awful.
So here's the thing. So obviously her and I, she was talking shit, I was talking shit beforehand. I won the first match. And then she's like, well, if you give me that gamepad and you take the Wii U controller, I bet I beat your ass. So we switch off. She beats me. She beats me. Legitimately beats me. However, she yelled, "That's right." However, I had more points when we did the Grand Prix. When we did battle, and I had the Wii U motion stick, and she had the controller. Like, she beat my ass. Like, there is no contest in that. Like, trying to aim and hit people while you're sitting there going like this is like just stupid. Like, there's just no way.
No, it's awful.
So
it's an awful controller.
So battle, I got my ass whooped. So right now she's up 2-1, with the asterisk being when she had the Wii U pad or the Wii U controller, motion controller, and I had it, I scored more points than she did. The spread was not as big. So I'm feeling confident right now going forward. Now she got to practice all day today and unlocked a bunch of stuff. So I'm probably going to get my ass whooped after the show. We'll talk about that next week though. So that's pretty much it for my Mario Kart stuff. Other stuff I played was Brave Frontier. And I tried out a new browser-based game. I played this for at lunch. Played about 15 minutes, so I got it in one game. Free Fall Tournament. It's basically like UT for Unity in a browser. So think not goofy ass. The fuck was the name of that game? What was the goofy name with the banana suit?
You're talking about offensive combat?
Not offensive combat. Like, it kind of looked like offensive combat a little bit, but more like UT characters, helmets, and flying around like jetpack skiing, stuff like that. And it was surprising that there was like lots and lots of full games. Like, they had a silver browser, full. Like, it was interesting. And I got on there and whooped some people's butt my first time playing, and I was like, okay, this game is kind of fun. Let me set it down for a little bit. But yeah, interesting stuff.
I played Dota. That was pretty much it.
You play a mobile game? You play any?
I've been trying to play this game. I'm so pissed. I need to upgrade my iPhone, is what I've determined. And every now and then there's a game that's like, the fact that I can't run it makes me pissed off enough that I want to go buy the upgrade or get the upgrade. So I'm on like the 4S right now. So I'm not latest and greatest, but I'm pretty close, right? I should be able to run just about everything, you would think. So there's this jousting game, which is the one which was the last straw. It's like you actually, it's basically pay to win, which is why it's not really that interesting to me. I'm just pissed that I can't run it. Like, that's the strict thing. So it's like a jousting game where you speed up the horse, and then you have to like aim the pole. Is it a pole? I'm sure there's a better
joust.
One. Yeah, and you have to aim like for a certain spot, and then you get a score for that, and a score for how fast you're going, and then a score for your armor, which is the pay to win bit. Your armor versus their armor. And then if you win 2 of 3, then you win the duel. And it's all like super fast. Like, if you played it normally, it'd take like 15 seconds for a joust, basically.
Right.
But when you're running at like 15 frames a second, not so much. It's called Rival Knights is the name of the game for anyone who wants to give it a try. It's free.
Rival Knights.
Yep. And you can play against, there's like an offline component to it, so it has like a RPG kind of progression as well. It looks cool. I can't run it though. I was pretty disappointed. So I'm going to have to pony up the $40, I think is all it will take for me to upgrade because I'm eligible.
Just do it.
Yep.
Get that fingerprint scanner. Then you can talk about it on the show.
Yes. The next level of security.
Work? Does it actually work? That's my concern. So yeah, that was our weekend gaming. Not a whole lot of stuff. Now, I don't know why jousting made me think of this, but on, was it Tonight Show? I think it was the Tonight Show. They show Project Morpheus.
Really?
Did you see this? Did you watch it?
No.
Oh my god, dude, Fallon had me dying, dude. He was slicing up like they played the one where they have the stick figure and you're like a knight and you're like slicing. It's like the one where you can take off his arm and then beat the arm. And they had I think Channing Tatum was the other dude on there, and so it's Project Morpheus, and so they were in the VR just whooping up on this thing. It was hilarious, dude. And then the other one I watched was Google Glass on the Daily Show. Oh my God! If you
Yeah,
guys
I
have
saw that
not
segment.
seen that,
On
I
on
was
Explorers.
I was fucking dying. Right? It was just crazy funny. Talking about the Explorer stuff, dude. Just so funny.
Yeah, I was cracking up too.
Uh, so content wise for this show, well, let me mention a couple odd things here. Hype 3, Black Tusk. Showing that support. If you guys remember, I talked about this a while back on when the IP got switched over. So this would have been like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
The concern for Black Tusk showing support for the competitive guys for Gears of War. It's happening. So they gave sponsored Hype 3, which is going to be held at eBash at the end of this month. Actually, they gave them $3,000 to add to their prize pool, which is that's a significant amount of money considering they're playing Gears 3 and Gears 1 at the tournament. So
Yeah.
I would be ecstatic right now.
There's nothing to market at this point, Like,
Yeah.
that's the thing. So
I would be ecstatic right now for those guys. Dre, Cal mentions. Yeah, so I mean, there was more stuff that was actually Colin that mentioned that. I was going to mention like drama, but I'll just pass on it. I mean, no need in bringing that up since I have a segment of the show I want to cover anyway. That will transfer into that and some other stuff. This is a good show since we have some downtime to talk about some future content that we have. And FL 2.0. But the games that we missed last week that we didn't talk about because there was literally nothing on them was Quantum Break and Last Guardian. And Last Guardian, what's funny about Last Guardian is Sony has to reassure people that the game is still coming.
Yeah.
They had the rumors from IGN, who was the one who falsely reported this the first time, saying that the game was not coming, it was canceled. Then to not show it at E3, and then have to be like, whoa, guys, don't worry, the game is coming. We assure you, the game is coming.
They didn't
Believe
actually
us.
say that though. Their phrasing was, "If we cancel it, we'll tell you."
Okay.
That was the actual phrasing. Was, "If we cancel it, we'll let you guys know." Which is the most definitive, indefinitive, I guess is the word, statement ever. It's like, yep, if we aren't working on it, we'll let you guys know. But we aren't stating that we're working on it or that it's actively being developed. Just like, yep, if it's gone, then we'll let you know. So it's kind of curious to see what state that's at. Because I doubt they would have, if it was close to being shown, I doubt they would have held on to it for Gamescom or TGS. Tokyo Game Show. So I don't know. We'll see.
Derp, you got the Kappa face there. So I don't know if that's true or not. If you guys don't know what Last Guardian is, for anyone that doesn't know, would you call it, is it the actual successor to Shadow of Colossus?
I don't think so.
Is it just
I've heard spiritual successor thrown around.
Spiritual successor? Okay. I don't know if you want to call it a successor to or sequel or spiritual successor to the Shadow of Colossus, which was an awesome game, but I didn't finish it, sadly. The other game that was big talk last year, no show this year, Quantum Break.
Yeah.
Is this a real game anymore, Colin? What do you think?
Was it ever a game?
Was it?
Was it ever a game and not just a movie?
Did we ever actually?
Was it ever
see
really
gameplay?
a game? Yeah, there was some really uninspired third person running around. You remember when I said it was like a really bland third person shooter?
Oh yeah. Okay, I remember.
It was
now.
like 5 seconds of gameplay, and I immediately was like, "Oh, that's gonna be an awful game," because that's what I do. But no, it looked really bland and uninspired in the little bit of gameplay they showed. And I don't think, even though they dedicated all that time to it, it never really got any steam whatsoever from press or people getting excited about it or anything like that. So Chat's saying that they're showing more off at Gamescom for Quantum Break.
Okay.
Still, though, man, that's like... It seems like it's B-list at this point. But it's an exclusive, so they're going to keep pushing it, you know?
It's, I mean, I don't have high hopes for this game anymore. I mean, I think they're showing it at Gamescom is a pretty big. It's a pretty big show.
Yeah. It's a huge venue as
It's,
well.
it's I mean, it's a pretty ginormous show. So I don't know if buzz for them like if okay. So here's my thinking behind this. I think they're gonna try to build hype right before the game releases, so they can get quick buyers that won't know about it, like won't really know about it, that are kind of buying it off hype, rather than having people analyze and nitpick gameplay for a long time. I think that's what's going to happen with this game.
It's a bit rough, though. They're marketing it in Europe, which is very Sony PlayStation dominated. Like, that's the decision they made.
Yeah, I don't. For the people that were hyped for this game last year, I don't think we were. I don't think. I'm pretty sure, Colin, you and I were pretty skeptic of it based on what we saw last year. I need to go back and watch last year's show, but I think we were shitting on it.
I thought it looked pretty boring. I know I shat on it.
So I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's also not my kind of game at all. So
Right.
With that caveat, I would have zero interest in playing it if it was done well, realistically.
I feel like this is a game that we were probably pretty harsh on last year, and I'm not trying to be harsh on it now. I just don't have high hopes for it because they've been just eerily silent about this game right now. So,
Yeah.
who knows? That's pretty much it. Like with other stuff, if you guys feel like at any point during this show, you know, it might like we're only going to talk about two things, and the Destiny stuff is going to be pretty quick. But if any time during the show, if you guys want us to talk about something, I think It's Bay mentioned Like Butter and the Gal collection, like wrapping a Gears of War collection all in one and doing something like Halo. All that's going to do is make me extremely pissed off at how messed up the movement is in Gears of War 1 compared to Gears of War 3.
Why do you always gotta take down Gears 1? Every time it comes up, you're like, oh man, you guys know how awful Gears 1 was? I know all you guys love Gears 1, but man, it was awful if you play it every single time.
No, I don't.
You're worse than me. You're worse than me when it comes to Gears.
Come on now. The only game that I do that with is Gears 2. The only game, like, I
still
can't
Gears
even,
1 that's the target, though, every time.
I can't. Well,
like,
movement
man,
in Gears 2 is
you
better.
know how people love Gears 1? I think it's awful. If you go back and play it, it's awful. Every single time.
No.
See? Kylan knows.
Listen, no, I think I think that Gears of War 1 is a very good game. I think that Gears of War 2 falls a little short for me personally. And I like Gears of War. I think Gears of War 3 has a complete package. I don't think that nostalgia kind of rubs people the wrong way with that game, and I think they introduce things that they didn't need to with weapons. But I mean, if you go from a movement standpoint, like you have way more options in Gears 3 than you did in Gears 1, which to me, I'm all about the movement. So
You know, it'd be cool. Since all the maps had the same set of rules, like there was no crazy stuff like Judgment with jumping off cliffs, imagine being able to play any map in any of the games for a collection. That'd be pretty cool.
you could make a pretty compelling experience.
Also, there's tons of DLC maps for Gears 2 and 3.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see a collection in an off year for Gears of War. Like, hell,
Especially if the
the
Halo
game
one is
doesn't come out.
successful. Like,
Yeah,
if
I
Halo's
mean-
fairly financially successful, which I think it will. I think it's going to sell like hotcakes, but
Yeah, I mean, thinking about it, like, let's talk about this. Let's wrap our heads around a Gears of War collection for a short period, since we're light on stuff today. If they were to make one, timeline would definitely be 2015. But then you talk about what work it would take to wrap all those up in a package to make it work similarly to the Halo experience that I think that 343 is going with. I think that's probably a lot of work, maybe. But I kind of feel like at the same time, 343 did that rather quickly. So I don't know. I don't see it being in Microsoft's plans. but it is at least compelling to think about Gears of War collection being very similar to the Halo collection. But that's only in an event where Halo or Gears of War is like really out. Like let's say 2017. If Gears of War 4 is in 2017, a Gears of War collection seems plausible next year to follow suit. Because that means 2016 they would get a beta shipped if they wanted to mimic everything.
There's no way. I was just
There's no
speculating.
way.
I was just throwing it out there. I think it'd be cool. That's
It
all.
would be. I would have. What would your map selection be? What would your ideal map selection be for a Gears of War collection set? If you could play all of them simultaneously, best of 5,
Like
but no, best of 7,
a match, like
best
like
of
a,
7. Yeah.
I mean, we're really late on content, so I'll entertain the idea.
Okay.
Gears 1 War Machine,
Okay, I agree.
Jacinto Gears 2, Pavi Gears 2. Actually, I would play Jacinto Gears 3,
Thank you.
Pavi in Gears 3 with the bottom opened up.
It doesn't exist, but okay, I agree.
I like Old Town.
I agree.
Sanctuary,
Gears 2, one of
Yeah.
the best maps ever.
which no one really got
agree.
to play because it was DLC.
I agree.
I'm sure there's another DLC map I'm missing.
Whew.
Yeah,
Cool.
and Overpass and Escalation. Thank you, Elite.
That's how you round it out with your 7. Let me just finish it off with 2 maps that you think are terrible.
No, I go. Memorial's a good one. Thanks, Hawk. That's another map I forgot about.
Clock? Would you finish it off with clock? Would you add a clock tower in there?
Yeah,
I would.
Clock Gears 1. That's
Here's
that's a good.
here's
line.
what I would do. Since you changed around Pavi,
Can we just play War
My-
Machine like 7 times?
my ideal clock tower is actually with a hole straight through the bottom tunnel area, all the way over to the other side.
Yeah.
So it would probably be like diagonal towards the inside and then diagonal out. I like options like that. That's how I probably would have made Clock Tower a little bit better. But I'd say yours is probably spot on with mine. I might throw in security. My issue with security is that half of the map isn't fucking played, right? Like people love security, but half the map you don't even use half the fucking map. Like you have like. I'll take that back. You use the map when you could smoke glitch through it. You remember that? You have people smoke glitching to get through the lasers and sometimes killing themselves in the process so they could get angles. Otherwise, you didn't even play that side of the map. It was stupid. So, I don't know. I think Checkout is good. Checkout is a good map.
Canals
I don't know
and
if I-
Fuel Depot were okay, Doug. They both could get really campy though, which is why I wasn't a fan. Fuel Depot eventually you just had to run inside. That was all you could do.
But yeah, mine would probably be I wouldn't do gridlock, like I can't stand playing that map. So yeah, it'd probably be Clock Tower, War Machine, probably still one of the best maps, or if not the best map.
Probably.
Pavi, Jacinto G3, Old Town. I like Avalanche. I personally love Avalanche. And what would my 7th be? Probably maybe Checkout. Maybe there's a couple maps in Gears 3 I really like. I like Hotel. I don't know, but Hotel's like Mansion though. My issue with Mansion is like it felt real tight.
Yeah.
So you didn't have opportunity to move, whereas I feel like they got the spacing right with Hotel. So probably Hotel.
Gold Rush was good too. I wish that we had gotten to play it. I think it would have worked out okay.
It was really big.
It's
It
pretty
was that was the new Clock Tower. That's Clock Tower 2.0.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's our Gear 3 collection. I mean,
Nowhere is another one. Yeah.
Nowhere.
Gears 2 has some good maps.
Man. It's that DLC though. That's what
Yeah,
it
it
was.
was
The
all
DLC
DLC.
map. So now that we got that out the way, Destiny Alpha. So, we talked about it a little bit after watching. You guys heard me call out Ninja last week. I watched more gameplay from him. I watched Phobos gameplay of him just shitting on people. I watched some more gameplay from him from the vehicles, and then I watched the strike missions, which seemed so Borderlands-ish. And here's the thing I found funny about it. There was a lot of people that initially were comparing it to Halo. Like, oh man, the game feels like Halo. It's like Halo. It's like Halo. And then the longer people started playing it, I started hearing more Borderlands. Like, I'd say the last 3 days or so, I've heard nothing but the guns feel like Borderlands. It feels like Borderlands. Everything about it feels like Borderlands. It feels like a better or a different graphically or higher fidelity quality Borderlands experience. So I am very intrigued by what I've seen so far. Multiplayer standpoint from the PvP, I think Phobos said this in his comment to someone. It's like, how's the PvP, or how much does the armor and stuff affect PvP? And this is something that we've been mentioning. He was like, well, I feel like it's like 50% skill and 50% armor, in armor and equipment. That's exactly what Phobos said, I believe, in one of his comments. I don't know how much that matters.
See, I'd heard. I was watching Game Sager stream. He's a Titanfall player. He's really
Titanfall
good.
player.
Yeah. He was also shitting on everyone. But I was also asking him some questions about the weapons and stuff. He said that the weapon damage is actually normalized. So, there might be 3 carbine weapons, right? And they'll all be tweaked a little bit. So, they'll have different damage numbers and, rate of fire and stuff. But everything, pretty much is around the same. And if you have a weapon that, it's the elite version of that weapon, and then you have, the poor version of that weapon, the actual damage it does is somewhere in the middle. So it doesn't, regardless which one you have equipped, it just normalizes it.
Okay.
But I'm not sure how the actual armor worked, and neither was he. So we weren't really sure what that meant, or, how your skill tree comes into it, because if your armor is normalized and the weapons are normalized, much of the skill tree becomes pointless. You might as well go all mobility, right?
Right.
There's no reason to do anything else. So we weren't really sure what was happening there as far as how that was set up. And also, you won't really know until you have the full sandbox in front of you, and then you realize that you need to get the weapon that is a super rare drop that you need to do raids at the max level in order to get if you run 100 plus times,
Right.
that's when the shit starts to get annoying, is when you get to max level and it's I need this weapon to compete.
Right, and if you don't get that weapon, then you might as well just not even play.
We're in
'cause you're gonna
beta,
get shit on.
in the alpha, if you played for a few hours, you pretty much had all the weapons.
Right.
And all the different classes of weapon. So yeah, I think it's really hard to tell from now, but people are already super skeptical.
Yeah, and one other thing that I got to mention with this, visually, the game looks stunning to me, dude.
Looks like
it looks awesome.
A nicer, obviously next gen Halo 4 to me.
Halo 4. Yeah, I mean, it looks beautiful. So graphically, I'm just really impressed with what Bungie has done with it. I think the big thing, and it's almost becoming so bad that it's good. It's like Nicolas Cage, Colin, right now. The voice acting right now in this game, from what I've watched, when I was talking to you last week and I was watching Ninja play, and I have my daughter calling me on Skype. But when we were watching it, and I'm sitting there whose voice is that? I was sitting there making fun of the voice, mimicking the voice. You remember that last week?
Yeah.
Mimicking the voice.
You're talking about the multiplayer, though.
Multiplayer.
Multiplayer, all right. Okay, keep going, and then I'll correct
continue. Right. So the multiplayer voice for that was I can't believe it sounds so dry and dull. I saw people commenting this on Phobos's video. They're like, man, that PvP voice sounds fucking horrendous. It's that's one of the comments. And so I listened to The Strike with Peter Dinklage, right? And they have this snippet that is playing over and over. It's like a meme now where
The wizard.
I can't even.
Wizard came from the sky.
Right? The wizard came from the sky is like a meme now, and I listen to it, and it's just so bad.
Yeah, it's
Why
like
does
someone
he
reading a
sound
children's
like
book.
that?
Yeah.
It's so bad, but it's so good now. Like I don't want them to change it because it's like if Destiny is 100% flawless, I feel like the awfulness of the voice acting will take this game over the top. Not like it's not going to deter the game. I actually think that it's so bad that it's going to propel it even further. Like I have to listen to how bad this is. I feel like that's where it's going.
I have to think it's Bungie too, because the multiplayer voice I believe is different. I don't think that's the same as the AI in the single player, but both of them are like super bland and boring, like really bad.
So bad. I don't know if how many of you guys have watched it yet, but I highly encourage you guys to sit down and listen to some of the memes. Like it is all over right now. Like people are shitting on how bad the voice acting is. Like I've heard people saying like they need to completely redo the audio, like start from scratch.
Hold on.
The Hive haven't been on Earth in centuries. That wizard came from the moon.
I just played it.
You have it playing?
Yeah.
Did you see the montage? Did you watch the montage of it?
No.
Oh man. Oh god, dude. Ugh. Terrible. Terrible. So for me, I'm just like that is something like I like it so much, or I dislike it so much that I like it now. Like it's so bad that it's good. It's Nick Cage level of terribleness, and I want it. I want to listen to the whole game played with the original audio now. Like I hope they don't cave in to the.
I wonder if they'll do a re-recording or a recasting.
I don't think they. I don't. You think they would recast? That's like. That'd be insulting.
Well, the performance is pretty insulting, regardless of how bad the writing was.
Gears of War voice acting is so much better. I think Portal 2's British robot. People just want a Brit. That could be. But there's times when you listen to
It's not
Peter
even a
and it
fun
doesn't sound like
I mean,
I know where you're going.
The multiplayer voice isn't even a fun Brit. It's like a boring Brit who like lived in America during all his childhood and then moved over there. It just doesn't work.
It's like the one thing that's really. I think it was it Bangatura? Like he always rips up on stuff, but I think he was like talking about the experience taking you out of the game. So like if you're like in the moment and you hear him, like I think it does have that effect a little bit. Like it could definitely take you out of the moment, but at the same time, it's almost like, is it intentional? Is it like dry humor and we're not getting it? I don't know.
I mean, it's
Either
supposed to be
way.
an emotionless AI is what I've seen explained so far.
Right. So either way, I mean, it's definitely something worth talking about. And like I said, I feel like it's so bad it's good. Give me that Nick Cage. The other stuff I thought was disturbing. Say it was disturbing. More and more PlayStation exclusive stuff coming out. Now, the game is supposed to be, I don't think it's going to matter, to be honest, but the game is supposed to be exclusive to PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 in Japan.
Really?
Exclusive, yes.
I'm sure I'm sure the 10 Xbox owners in Japan will be very disappointed.
Right. So I mean, I don't know if this is something that's going to negatively affect, sales for it on Xbox or anything like, or Xbox perception or whatever in Japan, because it's kind of hurting there anyway. But I just dislike like mostly them saying, hey, the game is going to be. And I mentioned this last week. Hey, the game is going to be damn near the same on, or if not the same. We're not playing favoritism, any of that stuff. And then the more we hear about this PlayStation stuff, the more it's like, dude, like how could you say that you guys aren't playing favorites? Clearly, like you guys have worked something out with Sony. It's
Deals
just
all over the place.
so blatantly obvious that it's like Sony favorite right now. So not that I'm hating on it. Again, my PlayStation 4 is coming. Let me just reiterate this because we get people here that talk about us on YouTube saying, we only talk about Microsoft stuff. We don't give a shit about Sony. My Uncharted stuff is very precious to me. I just don't understand all the favoritism at this point. Like, that doesn't help them. I don't feel like that helps them sell $500 million budget, and you sit here playing favorites. I don't think that sells copies. That's just me personally. But other stuff is like they have more content, more armor, new ships, all this stuff exclusively coming to PlayStation, and we just haven't heard much about Xbox One. So those are like everything right now. It seems like a lot of people though are positively coming out of the Destiny Alpha and E3 like Destiny is going to be a fucking good game, and I don't think there was any question at this point from my end that Bungie wasn't going to produce a stellar game. Like, people were saying the alpha was super polished, expected.
I'm just worried about how much content they're going to have at this point.
You think it's not going to be enough? Is that your concern?
Yeah, the alpha was like 2 hours of content, like maybe a little bit less than that, depending on who you talk to. The quote from the guy on Twitter that works over there says that the alpha represents less than 10% of the content, he said. So, like, people start doing the math, like, wait a second, less than 10%? That could just mean that there's, like, 20 hours of gameplay.
Right.
Much of which is it's built to be repetitive, right? And very modular in nature. So, I think that's a concern, especially if the game is supposed to be about grinding gear and getting new weapons. That could be pretty disappointing if that's all.
Diablo-esque.
Yep. I mean, you can finish Diablo real quick.
Yeah. What? No. My daughter's going nuts. So yeah, I think I could agree with that. That makes sense. I didn't actually hear that quote was that it's what'd you say, less than 10%?
Yeah. That's what they said.
Interesting. I wonder if it's 10% on like an average of like, hey, this content should take you 4 hours.
Yeah,
like by their estimates.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, they're building the universe to be able to build it a ton, but they haven't really talked endgame at all. And if it's built to be like a MMO replayable type game, then they really need to solve that. Otherwise, people are just going to finish, be like, I'm done.
Additionally,
be stuck.
This is going to be like separate discs, right? Like, they're not going to build out Destiny of $60 and then they're not going to be like, hey, buy this new game.
We don't know.
That's a DLC add-on.
They haven't talked about it. They just said 10 years of Destiny, they say.
She just wanted to be in here. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it on Destiny. We can go switch over. I mean, if you guys have anything else you want to add to it, definitely can. There was a video saying Destiny stuff is being time exclusive.
There's like 2 different conversations in chat going back and forth that are kind of mixed all over.
Right. Okay. Next. And I don't follow the Minecraft community like super hardcore. I play the game on and off. I probably have less than like 50 hours of Minecraft gameplay. But I know enough about the game to understand, what this kind of means. And the issue that kind of arose is that Mojang said, I want to say today or yesterday, that people can monetize content now in the game, which is specifically for items and stuff. Is that correct? Mod created items?
So yeah, it's people running servers, and then they have mods on their servers that allow them to basically have cheats and stuff, or sometimes functionality that isn't part of the base Minecraft game. They're added by the mod. But then in order to get it, you need to have like special access, which requires a monthly fee, or like a small fee to get promoted to the user level that you need to be able to have no clip or something. So the issue there is that people are. It's usually kids in these servers, and they want to be able to like, oh, I want to be able to do this, have unlimited mode, yada yada yada. So from a server's perspective, they say that like that stuff's to help the cost of running the server, which are legitimate. But then also it's seen as kind of preying on kids for the monies. So that was
Right.
what Mojang had issue with.
I could see that. But at the same time, my understanding is that the people that want to create mods feel like this is going to stifle the creation of mod content based on having it pay only. That is my understanding of what the major complaint is from the community. And again, if you're on YouTube, you want to talk about this in the comments, I'm totally down. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. But that is what I've kind of understood as the gist of what is, people are having an issue with. The founder of Mojang, the creator, he went on Twitter and was talking about, people being upset about it. And this is in the Polygon stuff. Like, he's visibly upset that people are not happy with their decision and that are voicing their concerns about it. So, from a mod standpoint, I have trouble understanding how it works. I mean, are you paying to get access onto the server in the first place?
Sometimes,
in some cases,
but usually not, I believe. So there's server slots, and then if you are a preferred member or whatever, then you'd be able to get in whenever you want, I think is usually how it would work. Otherwise, you'd stand in queue and like join, and you have to wait for slots to open up and that kind of thing. But the thing is, like, the mods are adding support for stuff that the base game doesn't have. So in a lot of ways, like, the argument is that Mojang has no right to say what they can and can't monetize because the stuff that they're selling is stuff which they didn't actually provide with the game.
Right.
So it's not like they're charging, it's not like they're double dipping on stuff that they didn't make. It's stuff which was made as community mods or mods for servers and that kind of stuff.
And I think my next question would be, is Mojang in any way taking a piece of the pie from this?
No.
Okay, so I think I'm in odds right now. And again, I'm sorry, I don't know enough about it to kind of talk more to lengths, but if someone could explain it for me in depth or want to talk about it, I'm having a hard time understanding why people would even have a beef with this in the first place. Like, you're on a server, it's your server, you could do what you want with it. If you want to charge people content, like, you don't have to pay, and I'm sure there are more servers. I'm sure there are more. But you're upset that people are going to buy this, and then you're not even having to split it with anyone? What? Like, I could see if Mojang was taking a piece, then I could have maybe an issue with that notion that you're talking about, Colin, where they didn't create the content in the first place, so now they're instituting this arbitrary thing to save the kitties, help the kitties.
Yeah, so Mojang is basically saying, look, you guys can charge for people to play in your server as a fee to like help pay for server costs, as long as the fee is the same for everyone and you don't restrict any gameplay elements to paid tiers. Like, you can't keep milking money out of people for other stuff on the server. Is where I guess they feel like kids aren't responsible enough to be able to understand what they're purchasing, is I believe what the argument was.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I understand.
Because it's really an
Mojang's
endless
standpoint.
road. Like, they can charge you $5 for no clip, $5 for infinite resources, so on and so forth.
Right.
And if you're a dumb kid with your mom's credit card, then you can keep going and going on a game which, from Minecraft's perspective, you already paid for and you should be able to play.
Right. Okay. Okay. Understand it. Understandable. All right. Last thing I want to kind of end on from our topic perspective is this notion of real betas and real alphas. Now, I found this very intriguing because I don't know who from Destiny said this. I don't remember specifically. I just remember reading it. But Halo 5's Frank O'Connor, who I believe is he project director, something like that.
I think he's the franchise gatekeeper or something like that.
Okay.
He's basically one of the head dudes for 343.
Right. Yeah. He said something along the lines of the beta for Halo is a real beta. And obviously it's coming out in a time span that's well before the release of the game, so that's legitimate. Destiny said that their alpha was a real alpha, where they're taking feedback and making all these changes. Now it's Bungie, and Bungie has a very good history with betas. But I have a hard time swallowing anyone saying that an alpha is. I don't feel like this is an alpha what we're playing. One, right? Like there is no way in hell, Colin, I would call what I saw on gameplay an alpha. I wouldn't call that an alpha. I would call that a definitive beta. One. Two, we're 3 months before release, and the beta is going to come out next month, less than 2 months before the release of the game, and they're calling that a beta. So I do have a problem, I think, with Bungie's approach this time around for Destiny and the terms that they've used now in several articles stating that this is real alpha, real beta, but realistically, no one has tested this outside of a few hundred, or I'm going to take that back, a few thousand people now, however many people were playing on PlayStation 4. But prior to that, no one was testing it. No one that we knew about, publicly anyway. There might have been some closed, and this is what we were talking about earlier, some very closed groups that maybe had an impact on gameplay, maybe. But this wasn't anything large scale where people were like, yes, this is going to directly iterate changes. We're going to find balance issues. We're going to find this. We're going to find that. I don't think we're going to see any emerging definitive changes until well after the game's release, and it won't be in time from the data that they collect. My personal opinion.
Do you think the content in the beta is going to differ that much from what was in the alpha, or do you think it's going to be like pretty much the same thing?
Hell the fuck no. Hell no.
To me, that's the more interesting thing. Like, as far as like what you call it, either one of them was an alpha or it was a beta, but the difference between the builds isn't enough to really warrant different classifications. But ultimately, like, I feel like the only way to do a multiplayer beta is to do it like a year out, or at least at least 6 months. Like Gears 3 was enough to get some things implemented, but not enough in the end. I feel like, which was around 6 months for Gears, and then Halo is going to be amazing because they're going to have a full 10 to 11 months, which is going to be absolutely insane.
Yeah, I think it upsets me, really, from an industry standpoint, that we maintain this practice of calling things alpha and beta when they literally have no impact on the final product, other than post-ship, post-ship first deal or first update, post-ship second update, post-ship third update, where you're fixing stuff that people noticed back in beta that was like a bug or clearly an issue with the game that should have been addressed well before, but you didn't have the time because of whatever obstacle was standing in the way to actually hold a beta to fix things. On top of that, I think that betas inadvertently possibly make players lose interest in the game. So I think part of it is like a marketing ploy to keep people on the hook, keep that carrot dangling in front of you so that you are interested in the game come release, and you only get a little snippet versus playing a beta early and saying, this is not for me, versus having that hype the whole entire time. But I have just a major problem sitting there labeling what an alpha and beta is, because I know damn well what an alpha looks like. I know what an alpha is. I know internally what an alpha is. I know externally now. I've played enough games to know what an alpha is. And to call that an alpha is I know you guys are Bungie. I know it fucking looks awesome. That was not a fucking alpha. It's a beta, right? So if you want to call it a legitimate beta, this is a real testing beta, sure. 3 months out is enough time to make some legitimate changes. But next month and a half out before the game releases, what is July 17th? The game comes out September 9th?
Yeah.
It's a month and a half? You're going to call that a beta? No. Not buying it. Sorry. So I had to go on one of those rants again. It just bothers me. And I hate when uninformed people are legitimately like, oh my God, we talked about this in beta. Why are there no changes? And it's like, you fucking played the game a month and a half out.
See, I hate the other side of that. I hate the people who play during alpha and beta and issues are coming up. They're like, oh, don't worry about it. It's alpha. Don't worry about it. They'll fix it for launch for sure. And then it's almost like saying, don't report it because they're going to fix it.
Yeah, that's the other issue. I agree with that 100%.
Don't worry about it. They'll fix it. They're aware of it. It's alpha. It's just alpha,
Rapid
guys.
development. Listen, Drew, I believe that rapid development happens, and Bungie has lots and lots of money and lots of people to make it happen. I'm just saying from a consumer standpoint and even from a developer standpoint, just something. Don't fool yourselves. Like, don't sit there and try to manipulate people and be like, yeah, this is an alpha or this is a beta, when realistically, it's not. And manipulate, I think, is a strong word to use, but I feel like people have this perception that Colin just mentioned, like, yeah, they're going to take care of it, or I can't believe this wasn't fixed. It's like you get both sides of the coin, and I've seen it time and time and time and time again. And it's like, when was the beta? Oh, a month out. Like, what's the prime example that we always go back to, Colin? Battlefield beta. I didn't even have to say it. He was thinking exactly what I was talking. Like, that's the best example ever. Like, in the last 3 years, that's the best example I have for you. Like, the game was so broken a month before the release, and people were like, don't worry, guys, don't worry, it's gonna be fixed, don't worry. So that probably more than any other game left the sourest taste in my mouth for beta in the industry. So yeah, just don't buy it, guys, please don't buy it.
But you have to in order to get in early.
I mean, I'm not saying don't buy it. I mean, don't believe. Like, you buy the game because I think the game's gonna be fucking awesome, but don't believe. And it's not like, when does Bungie release a terribly broken, shitty ass game like where you can't play it? Like, what has been terribly broken? Halo 2. This is glitch field, and even then it took a little while.
The beta for 3 was pretty bad, remember, right?
With networking?
Yeah, when they had that the generator attack mode. And it just didn't work at all.
Didn't work?
But that was an actual beta, then the mode got cut as well. And it was supposed to be a mode that was for testing network, so.
See, Dynasty, was Halo Reach really broken, though? Was it broken, or did you just not like it because it was not Halo to you? There's a difference between what I'm talking about. But Halo 2 had the best glitches ever. I agree, Halo 2 glitches were the shit, but that doesn't change the fact that it's pretty broken. So that's it. That's all we got for the show. That's what I wanted to end it on. Something very speculative.
There's no news this week at all. So
everything else is like, hey, what do you guys? You guys, some Q&A. We can do a quick Q&A.
Sure. Let me throw it up.
Tell you guys about my house. I took a picture of it on Twitter. I got a video virtual tour kind of thing of my house, my crib with no furniture in it. I'm walking around.
Any public betas that I would consider legitimate betas? Gears was probably roughly a beta. Gears 3.
Console. I mean, there's a lot of
Halo 2. Sorry, Halo 3, not
Halo 3. Halo 3, Halo Reach. Halo Reach had a pretty legitimate. It was 6 months out.
Yeah.
I think, Colin, you definitively said before the show, like, you feel like a beta has to be at least 6 months before the product.
I think that's the right number.
I think that's a pretty good. I mean, 5. There's obviously some gray area. I think once you start getting closer to crunch,
it depends on the scope of the game too. Like, it just depends on scope and everything. But
talk about the drama. I'm not talking about no drama. Gears drama.
Dota's actually a good one too. Dota 2, when it was in beta and they were like first accepting invites, it wasn't open though. I guess you caveat open or public beta, but they had tons of invites sent out and it was pretty rough at the time.
Yeah, and they did their shit right. Like Valve, like, that was just an excellent.
Yep. Like,
from start to finish.
They were also throwing $1 million tournaments while the game was still in like super beta.
Right.
They only
they were
20 heroes.
Building features. I mean, that's probably the best beta I've seen in a long time. How's Fortnite going? It's going. 1v1me in Smash 4 when it comes out. Maybe. Maybe. I'm not great at Smash. Be better at Street Fighter than Smash, probably at a competitive level.
What's our take
Hey, Arctic.
on Watch Dogs and Ubisoft? We were talking about it a bit before the show. It's so strange to me that like the settings were there and they just changed it. I think that when they say that they believe they didn't downgrade, I think they believe it for the most part. And there's like conscious visual decisions to change the tone a bit. But it's pretty funny that people have uncovered the actual E3 settings in the files and have started modding them back in.
Yeah. Hey Arctic, when I get free Epic swag, when I get my wings to give away swag.
A mountain of swag.
Why would you buy Capcom when they can't sell a baby? Yeah. Can we get Fortnite keys? Maybe. Do you feel that Respawn not supporting any Titanfall comp will let the game fall off the radar? I think that they missed their window of opportunity to really go big with the game for the competitive scene. Shooters are just such a weird beast right now. I think my biggest thing with Titanfall is more along the lines of not like what they're doing, but like how people have reacted to the game. And I talked about this last week, and how perception of Call of Duty Advanced Warfare has been, when to me they're the same game almost. Like, so I'm more interested to see how Call of Duty Advanced Warfare does as opposed to what Titanfall is doing, to be honest. Will Loadout be a great controller game for the PS4? I have no idea. I don't know, Dynasty. I don't even know what the game plays like on PS4. Valve operates outside of society and normal rules. I would loop Blizzard in there as well.
Yeah. Blizzard's had
Bray
some
says-
missteps, though. I don't think Valve's had any missteps, really.
What would you call what's Blizzard's main misstep? Diablo?
Yeah.
You said some though. What's some more?
There's been some questionable WoW stuff with what they do with like PvP.
Was Hearthstone a beta? Hearthstone was a beta, right?
Technically, but it was also a card game that was pretty much done being designed and worked on.
So you're saying the scope of the game made that beta less
Yeah.
relevant, which is what you were mentioning earlier.
Like by the time they were in beta, they'd already released all the heroes for the decks. Like I'd expect if it was a real beta, it'd be like most way done, you know?
Yeah, I agree. Arctic, are you going to be playing Evolve a lot? Probably quite a bit.
I'm gonna tear you up.
As what? The monster?
Both.
I think
hunt your ass down.
First off,
I'm a hunt your ass down. I'm
first off,
constantly
you have
hunt your
to,
ass down.
Colin, you have to remember that we have a group of people that have been playing together for like 7-8 years now. So the odds of you actually tearing up us,
That's the thing, though. I know how you guys
it's not
think.
going to happen.
I know how you think.
So you're going to be like 5 steps ahead of us? That's what you think?
Yeah.
All right. The challenge is on. I think
steps
the
ahead.
person, the two people that would get torn up the most. No, I'm gonna go 3. I think it would be close between Alex, Tense, and Phobo.
Get torn up
the most as a monster.
That's probably true.
Yeah. So I'm gonna call them out.
No killer instinct.
I'm pretty sure Alex would probably get torn up the most out of all of us.
You just be charging us all the time.
Yeah. I don't feel like Alex would make a very good monster.
He'd be stage one going at us.
He would try to outskill us with the monster. I don't think it would work out too well for him. Let me see. But yeah, I do plan on playing Evolve quite a bit. Destiny is fun. I dig it. If you're competent behind Capcom's IP, make some decent games.
You guys have been popping off in chat today. It's been nice to
I know,
see because we
chat's
don't have
been-
much to talk about.
Did you guys play Wolfenstein? Did I tell you? I feel too ashamed to play Wolfenstein. I think the game is going to be too hard for me. Do you remember this discussion last year?
You got torn up at a demo. How do you get torn up at a demo? How does that even happen?
For anyone unaware of the show, if some
He
of you
got
guys may
torn
remember,
up at a booth
last-
demo.
at a
Booth demo,
booth
they make
demo.
it as easy as it can possibly be. They
That's
tune it
not
all the way
true.
down. Oftentimes
That
they'll make
is-
you. They'll usually make you invincible so you can finish.
that is not true.
They did everything in their powers to let you win.
That is a fucking lie. I'm gonna just go outright and say that is a lie.
Awful.
So, QuakeCon 2013 QuakeCon, Bethesda had Wolfenstein as a playable demo at one of their booths, and I was like, "Oh, new Wolfenstein!" This is before they announced no multiplayer. So I sit down. All right, I was standing up playing, and there weren't a lot of people in because I came in early, right? And so there was nobody around kind of watching, and so I think I was like, this is supposed to be like a 30-minute demo, I think.
Thank goodness.
20-minute demo. I was on there 20 minutes. I could not get past, like, I think I was at the halfway point, and I just kept dying. I try something else, die. I try to muscle through it, die. I try to strategize around it, die. I was like, oh my God. I slowed down to a crawl and was like killing people one at a time, die. Or run out of ammo, die. I was like, this is the hardest fucking shooter I've played since like Doom. I was like, I'm gonna sit this game down. I'm gonna go walk away, come back. And I came back, played it again, got shit on again, and I was like, I'm done. So Wolfenstein might not be the game for me. That was the first shooter I've been like legitimately fucked up by the AI. Like I could not do shit from start to finish.
Awful.
Now here's the thing. After that, I think it was PAX. They were talking about this at the show. The devs had to lower the difficulty of the demo for press after that show because people were getting fucked up so bad at that demo that they had to lower the difficulty. So I don't know what that says about me in terms of my skills in single player Wolfenstein experiences, but all I'm saying is that game, I'm not playing it. Not playing it. You can't even talk, Colin. You wouldn't even have tried the single player. Fraud. People call me a fraud. Oh, man.
How have I never seen this face? That is amazing. Sorry.
Okay. Real quick, before we end, I want to see if there's any more. What do y'all think of Battle Cry?
Yeah, we talked about it a couple weeks ago. Mostly just talking about a studio named Battle Cry making a game called Battle Cry.
Game called Battle Cry.
Which probably features people using battle cries. It looks pretty cool, though. It looks like a Chivalry mixed with Team Fortress to me.
Team Fortress? Yeah.
And that's probably going to be fun. Chivalry was pretty fun.
It was, but Chivalry was first person.
I need something faster, though. You know
actually,
what I mean?
hold on.
If I
take
get
that
fast
back. You can change the
Chivalry...
camera. I don't know if this is going to have Chivalry, though. I saw some of the gameplay. It just didn't look as compelling to me.
A fast Chivalry with
I'm going to reserve...
and speed. And then I still need to be able to make all the shouting stuff like I do in Chivalry.
Have the big eyes.
On me!
On me!
On me!
To me!
Get the archers!
To me! So there's a new app that I want to show you guys. It's called Whisper. And there's a certain reason I've been looking at this specifically. Let me just show you guys one. Let me blow it up a little bit. This is Whisper. You guys can see it. You guys can see the text on there. So it's like in the tech scene, these mobile apps are popping up that aren't forever or have a lot of anonymity behind them. So you can post things without, it's like chat relay almost, kind of. You can see people in chat relay, but you're anonymous. You can post whatever you want, no consequences. And this is like picking up in the tech scene majorly, right? So there's like Secret, which is like tech scene, San Fran. There's Whisper, which is pretty popular from what I found out. There's Yik Yak. And so I decided to download Whisper and kind of look at this stuff and see, like, I don't want to be like out of the loop and feel like I'm getting old. So like a lot of young, like high school people, some college people, I think Yik Yak is in schools. This is what they're using now. So Yik Yak, they are having an issue with cyberbullying because people say whatever the fuck they want and they'll talk about just anything, right? So they're having an issue with cyberbullying. Funny comment that I saw from there was like, there was no such thing as cyberbullying when I was in high school. There wasn't. Or elementary. It was like, and if you saw something like that, what would you do? Get the fuck off the computer. Like, why are you reading it? Why are you forcing yourself to read it? Just like get up and walk away. Go outside. So I think that's funny a little bit. But this is the thing with gaming. So I decided to look at gaming, look at the tags, and read to you guys some of the stuff that people were posting on Whisper. And this is like a segment of the show where I want to transition some of this to like hashtags on Twitter, and some other stuff, all the kind of circling back on gaming. But I think initially we might have been calling this either hate mail or something like that. It's just depending. Hate mail could be like messages that I personally have received or Colin has received. But let me see. Let's read to you guys some of these. Now, some of them aren't funny. Some of them are just like real life emotions from people and whatever feelings. I love gaming, and it is a relief on my real life when I play. My boyfriend doesn't think I'm a gamer. Just my first video game wasn't Zelda. I love Scooby more. It's an example.
That's a awful tweet.
That's a bawful one.
Really,
it's not a tweet. It's a whisper.
They're just awful tweets.
It's a whisper, and you don't know who the person is.
So I don't know people are on Twitter either.
Still,
most of the
sometimes people have their. It's like Twitter. It is like Twitter a little bit in that sense. I think the one I read to you was like, gaming all day long saves money. It's like, what? Why is it so hard to find a girl that enjoys gaming? I'm addicted to gaming. Can't stop. It's ruining me. Some of these are like so personal. As much as I love gaming, I hate it too because my boyfriend completely ignores me when he plays, and he puts it before me. So sad.
Are we going to turn into a Dr. Drew show? Is that what you're trying to lead us down?
That's so sad. Any girls in Colorado like gaming? 19 male.
I imagine that's like that's probably half of the use of the app.
It is like if I just read some of the non-gaming stuff, like I'll read a couple of those too. But who else loves gaming, sex, and KFC? Female, by the way. This is one I was laughing with Colin the most. I was like, who the fuck like regularly eats KFC greasy ass chicken while they're gaming? Like, why is that mentioned all in one line? Like KFC,
celebrates
sex, and KFC, like, or in gaming, it's like, what? That's like, so if Colin goes, that's probably some black dude. And I'm like, nah. I was like, it's female, so it's some big black chick.
Why you gotta pay me like that?
What?
Why you gotta pay me like that just because I said it?
That's what you said. And I said, no, it's a big black chick. That's what I pictured. KFC. That KFC.
Right, time. Just give me your Twitter name. Give me your number. All at the same time.
Now, here's the other thing about the whisper thing. So someone whispers these, right? And it comes with an automatic image, right? So it generates an image, or you can upload an image. But then people can reply to it or favorite it. And most people, like, they'll DM you. So they DM messages to you as a way to continue the conversation.
Right.
So, like, one of mine, as an example, like, I said, hold on, I have to look at mine. Was my whisper was less stress, more loving, right? And the background was McDonald's sign, like loving it, I'm loving it. And so someone replied to me on this fucking app saying, "You male or female?" And I'm like, "Fucking creeper.
I guarantee you, dude.
That's like, all this is." So
I don't know why you're surprised by this.
I'm not. I just think it's hilarious. It's like chat roulette. Like people just showing their dicks, right? Like instant dick, chat roulette. Then was another one of my whispers was like bacon, and then need I say more? And then someone was like, I love bacon. And I said, don't we all? And he was like, do you have a slice or can I meet up with you? I was like, what? 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 I was like, no. But here's some of the
It's
like
pretty
most
smooth.
popular ones.
He's pretty smooth.
Let me transition from bacon to do you have a slice? Can I meet up with you? What?
Well, yeah, because you guys had a meaningful conversation, so now you need to go to the next level.
Let me hype you guys up for Whisper. Like, listen, I showed Will this. That's Raxzilla. Me and him have been just going at it, just reading stuff, laughing our asses off right now. And Colin said he's convinced that most of it is fake, right? Like,
Probably.
you think these are made up. All right, so here's one. It's featured. It has 4,000 likes, 283 comments on it. I saw a gross couple having sex in a stall, so I played diarrhea sounds on my phone in the stall next to theirs. That one isn't even that bad, but I think it's hilarious.
These are tweets, dude. You're reading me retweets.
I hear you, but it doesn't come automatic. I'm just telling you guys what is new and trending, and I had to share it because I think it's hilarious. Why not just do this on Twitter? I agree.
I get this stuff from Blaze every day, retweeting.
I get my daily fill from Rob.
Yeah,
Rabbit.
I
Rabbit Tricks.
had to unfollow him. Sorry, Rabbit.
Rabbit Tricks has
too
me
much for me,
tears,
man.
dude.
Too
I
much
just
for
can't.
me.
I can't comment on any of his stuff because it's just too much for me. All right, so here's one that's funny. The day my boyfriend and I moved in together, we ordered pizza. My ex delivered it. Awkward. Most of these though are like sex related.
Yeah.
I'm trying to avoid most of them.
I
Hold
would
on.
imagine so. If an innocent post about bacon goes that way, then
Like I can't even post about. Where's one of the ones that I saw earlier? This will be the last one that I read. Then you guys can download it and we can share hilarious stories together in the chat.
bonus points if anyone actually manages to have a meaningful conversation.
Okay. My roommate sabotaged my hookup, so I put dead batteries in her vibrator and hid all the new ones. She asked me where the batteries went.
Wow.
And that is Whisper. So download the app. Bacon is innocent, right?
Frag Logic, sponsored by Whisper.
Sponsored by Whisper. Hilarious. So that's all I got
A weird note to end the show on.
for my weirdness. Mario Kart, Brave Frontier, Free Fall Tournament, and Whisper.
All right. That'll be it for Frag Logic number 72. We'll be back next week with whatever the hell happens over the course of the week. Because that's how we do it on Frag Logic. So we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.
Gross logic. Later, guys.
No, that's not going to happen.
No, you fail.
Yeah.
You fail.
No cat cam. All right. Have a good night.
Later. Sponsor.